Grab my backpack by the couch. No matter what I do, I'm labeled as a bad character. Anthony Evans, what's going on? You was here early. Yo, yo. What's up, DMV? Yo, yo. I just wanted to, set the mood with some vibrations early on. Cowboys fans, family, and friend. I sound like I'm giving an intro to a radio station or something. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Foster King here. A lot of news, notes, nuggets today. A lot of thoughts that are on my mind. Watch some football. Even after Dallas lost, I think we all obviously saw what happened with San Fran. We'll get to that. We will get to Eagles and where, some of us may think that they are this, that, and the third. Me personally, I still feel really good about the Dallas Cowboys. I still feel really good about our tape. I finally got through the all 22. That's actually, so for all my film watchers out there who really, dig in and watch the tape, I think one of the hardest things to do is like stay focused just because like life be lifing. So like one of the things I do is I make myself just turn on an album and I just watch the game. And there were a few plays that I want the Cowboys to have back and I'll put them up. But for the most part, outside of Dallas being on the goal line, like 2 drives where they started on their goal line, for this team, for whatever reason, when they start in negative territory, that's like on your end of the field, they just have nothing to get out of Dodge. And then not to mention, I think that Dak was kind of sped up all game just because, Chuma Adoga, I think he was serviceable in the games that he played before. Like, he didn't kill you. And I thought that this game, he just made Chubb look like Micah Parsons. So, and Chubb's a nice player. Don't get me wrong. When Miami brought him in from Denver, I thought that they were bringing in a really good player. But, I mean, they made him look like Micah Parsons. Doga did. But that's also one of the reasons why I am still very confident, because you played this game without Jonathan Hankins. You actually outrushed the Dolphins. As much as we want to talk about our running back situation. And I'll be the first. I mean, I covered running backs on this channel. Those of y'all who were with me during the draft season, I covered the running back position on this channel. Like I was out front on wanting running backs. Tajay Spears, Jahmyr Gibbs. Anybody who knows me and watches me during draft season, you guys know how much I love Jahmyr Gibbs. So to see what he's doing in the NFL, I'm not shocked, right? So that's kind of like where I'm at. But I also don't think I know a lot is being made of the Tony Pollard, but I see what he was doing, and DMV is a coach. He's on here right now. Um, and one of the things that I respect about like coaches, they understand all all Pollard was trying to do was he thought that Elliott had an angle on him, so he was trying to use his momentum to get him put his foot in the dirt. Now, what he probably should have did was just lower his shoulder, use his leg drive, and just got in his zone, but he didn't, and that's the end of it. And of course, you know the the big one is the Luke Schoonmaker fumble. Everybody is upset about that, I'm with you, but I'll say this: I like the Cowboys having faith in their young players. You don't know which one of these young players is going to make a play when you need it. I just can't say that enough. Get away. You just don't know which one of your young players is going to make a play when you need it. And to be honest with you, I really believe that had it not been for that fumble, you'd be talking about Lukey as the player of the game. And if not player of the game, you really be talking about him as Lukey. You be talking about Lukey as one of your unsung heroes. And the fumble happened, but we it's so many times like young players that can't play, the young players that I think won't play. Exactly. I feel the same way, John. DMV Fanatic. You guys make sure that you guys tap into the channel. He's doing a lot of great work. He's also like my friend outside of work. We talk sports. He's a great coach as well. Um, I would have gave it to him again. Like there's no other way around it. I would have gave him the ball again. I know people don't want to hear that, and we lost the game, but right now you're the 5 seed. So, and to be honest with you, had you won, but Philly won, I don't think that anything would change. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think that anything would have changed. Uh, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's nothing that Philly could do within these next 2 to 3 weeks that will change my mind about them. Their offense is shot, guys. And DMV is a coach. That's not something that you can fix in a week. The work week has to go. You got to practice. You got to do this. Some of the stuff that they're trying to do, that's a whole philosophy change. Some of the things that they will have to change, that's like going from an RPO to a West Coast scheme. It's not like Madden. You go to Madden and you go to the menu and you pick what type of OC you want and this, that, and third. Yeah. They won't be able to do that. Like their offense is so predictable. And it really is a high school offense. It really is a youth football offense. It really is a youth beginner level offense. And I think they did it to, ease Jalen Hurts into the NFL. They had such a great line and they have a great record right now. Like they have an outstanding record. But the problem is now that the league is caught up, you kind of stuck. You stuck like Chuck. Because if they can't sit on the ball and run the ball, let's be real, they were down to, the Giants' third string quarterback. A backup of a backup. And maybe Tyrod Taylor should have been starting, probably should have. But so Philly could win out, and that's cool. So I got a few thoughts of today. One of my main thoughts is the Cowboys are fine. Now, I know it's been a couple of losses like this that it's like, we're finding a reason or a waffle and we still haven't put it together. But when you hear guys like Brandon Cuss come out and say, man, you got everything you need. You have the pieces right here. You have the players you need right here. I believe him. That's me. I believe him. One of the things that I took away from the game is the way the offense struggled, but was able to put a drive together late. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Shout out to Danny Savage, Draft Guru, my guy. Shout out to Big Benny Rich. Shout out to all y'all, man. Let's get through this time. So, being able, because the offense went through a lull, and we'll talk about this. They went through about 2 quarters where, to me, if you want to get on Mike McCarthy, and I do a lot of apologizing for Mike McCarthy because I do think he's a good coach. I do think he's a good OC. And the truth of the matter is this. What's up, Christian? And the truth of the matter is this. If you want to fire Mike McCarthy, tell me who you're bringing in to do something that he couldn't do with this team. Also, tell me who's gonna be on the same page as Will McClay like he has. Also, tell me what offensive coach is gonna uh, put the resources on the defense side of the ball the way that he has. You gotta think. We passed up on some good offensive talent this year to draft Mozzie Smith, and that was because why? Mike McCarthy was actually out front in the room saying we need to be able to stop the run. He understands the whole scope of it. And no, Mozzie hasn't played quite up to what we want him to, but just give it time. I think Mozzie will be fine. You can't rush. You can't. Everybody isn't going to be. I'll just be honest with you. Everybody isn't going to be Micah Parsons. So that's just the facts. No, Danny, my dog, but I don't want Deion. I like Deion, but I think Deion's character and who he is he's definitely more of a college coach than a. And I love what Prime's doing, but the problem with the problem with Prime would be he just wouldn't have enough coaching experience. I mean, Mike's put his time in. He's put his years in. I mean, there were people wanted Kellen Moore to be the next head coach. We clearly see Kellen Moore probably wasn't even ready to be an OC. So, I mean, he's been one, but so that's just that on that. How you guys doing during the holiday season? I'm doing well. One of the things that I noticed throughout the game was, and one of my big takeaways was, I think everybody wants Micah to go off ball because we're just not seeing Damone Clark fill and shoot gaps. That's one of my big takeaways. Again, no Jonathan Hankins, no Tyron Smith. Gotta say that over and over again. No Jonathan Hankins, no Tyron Smith. So what's happening? You're seeing what? You're seeing running lanes. And even though the rush wasn't as bad, like they clearly stopped the run. Clearly. When you needed to get a stop, the Cowboys couldn't get a stop. I think that's what bothered me. And I think another thing that bothered me was Damone Clark. It's not too many times that I see him on the wrong side of highlights, on the wrong side of getting pancaked, on the wrong side of not playing it correctly. So that's starting to scare me. And then, there's one play where he knifes in, makes a big play against the run, and then that very next play, Miami gets a 3-yard, maybe a 5-yard gain. They chase the motion. Malik Hooker chases the motion. Why? I don't know. Gets a 5-yard gain, and they seal the game. That one to me was like, didn't need that. But at the end of the day, you lost the game, and I think this is something they can clean up. Now we start talking about the future because Cowboys do have 5 more games that they're going to play. And we need to talk about how we're going to win these 5 games. You guys, so what do you mean 5 more games? 5 more games. Foots, how is it 5 more games? Think about it. 2 more regular season, 3 playoffs. Y'all know what's going on, man. All right. The question is, who do we want to see in the playoffs? Well, yesterday, what's up, 2-guy? Yesterday, I'm watching San Francisco, and all week, everybody, they're going to blow the Ravens out. And if you go look on Twitter, on the Twitter machine, that's why all 100 and whatever, we got 124 people in here. Everybody probably done went through about 10 shows, 2 eyes in here, so she'll bring some more people in here. You guys should be on, because what I said was, and I meant this, I think that Baltimore will beat San Francisco. I said this 3 days before the game. And sure enough, right on schedule, I also said Kyle Hamilton will have a big game. And sure enough, right on schedule, there's a lot of things I'm wrong about, so I won't do that like I'm perfect. But Kyle Hamilton had a big game. Kyle Hamilton had a monster game. And Baltimore blew San Francisco out, and they were more physical. Let's not skip over the most important part. Baltimore was more physical. San Francisco is a team that they truly do and will bully teams. If you don't have those guys on your team, they will bully you. Let me tell you, God is my witness. It was a few times that I saw McCaffrey get hit. 32 crunched him a few times. And I said, wait a minute. I'm not saying McCaffrey getting up slow, but trust, believe me, he feeling this today. He getting an ice bag today. And you know what, Christian? It's so crazy. It wasn't just their linebackers, dog. And this is, for my people who really, in their football bad, Marlon Humphreys had a play that I said, man, nah, John Harbaugh either put a hit out on them or he challenged them to be more physical. Marlon Humphreys had a play. It was some type of an edge run, and right on target, Shanahan had pulled his guard or a tackle, one of those schemes. And when I tell you Marlon Humphreys came up from corner and smoked the guard, and that's how you have to play it. All my football guys know this. This is the problem I have with the Cowboys. And this is why, as good as Bell has overachieved. So we can give a clap emoji for Marquise Bell. But when you're playing against these guards and tackles and they're pulling and this and the third, you wait, you're looking for the block, you're trying to disengage your block. That's just as good as blocked. That's just as good as blocked because most runners can tuck behind them. Boo. The only way you stopping those gap schemes when they're pulling and it's that and third, they coming around, boom, meet him. It's over. He came around that edge and Marlon Humphreys crushed the guard. So what happens is now everybody on the team on San Fran sees that. Hey, wait a minute. That same run that got us, and don't get me wrong, McCaffrey did have a good, he wasn't bad yesterday. I mean, he really bailed San Fran out in times when they wanted to get blown out even more. Purdy was able to, and we'll get to Purdy, don't worry about it. But I'm talking about how fitting their run and being physical. You have to take the fight to them. I thought in the playoff game last year, Dallas did a great job of that, but the offense couldn't keep up. What Baltimore did was didn't turn the ball over. Early on, they didn't really do anything spectacular, Baltimore, but they just kept on keeping on. They turned Purdy over a few times. Purdy started seeing ghosts. Purdy can't create. So, you see Dak running around, sitting up in the pocket. But first read, he's a lot like Jalen Hurts. They're just running different schemes. And Shanahan better OC. But with Purdy, he doesn't play off script. Fake, motion, whatever. Ball to Debo, ball to Ayuk. You guys do the work. Ball to McCaffrey, you guys do the work. Ball to Kittle, you do the work. And Kittle looked like he was about to have a monster game. Few big plays, Baltimore didn't get nervous. Mike McDonald is a good DC, right? And when I really get to the schematics of it and what they did to kind of make him see ghosts, I think that they did a really good job. And so, to me, they just kind of weathered the storm. Yeah, I think that DMV is right. They just weathered the storm. They didn't panic. When they did make plays, they didn't panic. And so one of the things that I noticed was every San Francisco player that touched the football got hit. Like, if you touched the football yesterday, you were getting tackled, and you were getting tackled hard. And so what happens is, like, that type of stuff, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's what makes, right? That's what makes teams say, this is interesting. We can beat them. And I kept tweeting and I said, man, Dan Quinn, you need to be watching. I hope that you're watching because um, you know, I that's the type of stuff that makes say, Dan Quinn, these guys, they're human. They bleed. They're hit them over. And Baltimore didn't do a bunch of talking. It wasn't. It just can't. They was coming downhill. You know, and Harbaugh, he had a special teams mentality. You know, that was his trade. He was a special teams coach, so he can get teams ready to go. And Baltimore was ready to go. They out game plan them. I thought Todd Monken did a great job. When you talk about the outside versus CD on the inside, I think that's where you have to attack. Zay Flowers didn't go crazy yesterday, but just keeping CD in the slot like Mike did in the first game. Me personally, I don't think that's a good game plan. I would rather this team use CD on the edge versus San Francisco when you win that way, because right now, and I made my funk about it on Twitter, but right now, I don't think there's a better player. I don't think there's 5 better players in the NFL right now than CeeDee Lamb. He won't be up for MVP or anything like that. But I just like he took Slant to the house. What he was able to do Sunday. He really outplayed Tyreek Hill, and it should have been worse. And that was all just self-inflicted. It goes back to what I say. If Steph Curry can go for 30, you let him go for 50. CeeDee Lamb is one of those players, and the Cowboys just didn't let him do it. Sorry, y'all. Dealing with a little, not really a cold, just like a little slight cough. Went on a run today, so just trying to get some fluids back in me, because even when I'm not feeling well, still got to push through. So, where we at now? Where are the Cowboys at now, and how does this all pertain to the playoffs? So, just being honest with you, I don't want to go to San Fran. I want to go to San Francisco. To me, it's too cozy in Dallas. And people will disagree with me. I've been to a playoff game there. I watched Aaron Rodgers front run on that last play, and they toe tapped, and that was right in front of Byron Jones. And it was pouring raining after that game, and I was outside in the rain, just hurt. I've been there. I never forget too. So funny. I never forget. Some of those Packers fans were like the nicest people. Like we were literally watching the game, like, man, Des Bryant he's just such a nice guy. I mean, they were like, man, we were sitting next to the guy. He's like, man, either of our teams deserve to win. It's not even a big deal whoever wins or loses. It's not even that big of a deal, man. Seriously. I was like, dang. But in all seriousness, I want these guys on the road. I want Dak uncomfortable. I don't want you in your house. I want you uncomfortable. Whatever tricks they try to play in San Fran or wherever we have to go, I want Tampa uncomfortable. That's what I want. I want us on the road. Now, let me ask you guys this, chat box. What do you guys see happening? Because right now the seeding is this. We will play Tampa, Philly will play Seattle, San Fran would have a bye, and Detroit will play. Who would Detroit play? Detroit would play the Rams. So right now, if that were to shake out, what do you guys see happening? What do you guys see happening? Yeah, Christian, right now, it would be Dallas, Tampa, Rams, Detroit, Seattle, Philly. So what do you guys see happening in that situation? Do we see the way that Philly played yesterday, do we see Philly losing to Seattle at home now? Possibly. Philly fans are talking about, their secondary looked better. No, they didn't. I mean, yeah, Steve Slade run past everybody on their secondary, and I think he has like one touchdown this year. So I don't think that they look better. So I don't know. Now, I see the playoff machine just I don't know how, because I was told that if Philly loses, right? If Philly loses, then Dallas now it will switch. Is that true? Or if Detroit loses, it will switch, and we would go somewhere else. So y'all help me out. Make sure you put the poll down. So what would change in that situation? Also, I think that this playoffs is about matchups. It's about matchups. So I'll be honest. I don't think that Seattle is a good matchup for us. I think that DK is something to be said when a player knows that he's better than a guy, and the other team knows it. So I don't think they're a good matchup for us. Just what he did to Deron Bland, now we got the win, but just what he did, and now Kenneth Walker's trying to play good football. I don't think the Seattle's a good matchup. I do think that we're a bad matchup for the Rams. I just think that we kind of do have Matt Stafford. When we play him, he sees ghost. We played him this year, it got ugly. So I do think that we're a bad matchup for the Rams. I think that we're a bad matchup for honestly, I think that we're a bad matchup for Detroit as well. I do. Now, Tampa, I've tapped into Tampa, and it just looks like Baker's just playing like backyard football, kind of like doing what he wants to do. So I don't know if I can't necessarily say we're a bad match for them. I just would have to really tap into their film. I know they haven't won a lot of games. I know Mike Evans is still playing good football at his age. So, but as far as matchup wise, what us Philly, I'm gonna say it's 50-50 because right now I think that we're playing better football than Philly. And that's hard to say because obviously they just beat a bad Giants team. And we lost a 2-point game in the last minute because our defense couldn't get a stop. But I do think on a neutral field, we're better than Miami and we're better than Philly. What do you guys think? All right, let's talk about what Black Man is saying. We're a bad matchup for everybody except 49ers. I agree, and I think that we can be a bad matchup for the Niners if we literally go out there and match up with the 49ers. I truthfully do believe that. Nah, Danny, I'm not. We can't do that, man. I feel really good about this team. I do. I feel exceptionally good about this team. I know the losses, 2 losses, 2 bad losses, 2 losses. We said, but I mean, who's the perfect team in the NFL? Baltimore, who just went to OT with the Rams and squeaked one out on a special teams play. 49ers, who just got dog walked at home. Who's the perfect team? Buffalo, who's fighting for their playoff lives. Who's the perfect team? I do agree with the run defense is not the best right now, but I also think that Jonathan Hankins makes the world of defense when it comes to this. Makes the world of difference when it comes to this team's run defense. Let's talk to PTJ for a second. Foots, I have trust issues. Oh, sorry, PTJ. Here you go, PTJ. Foots, I have trust issues with the play calling in the red zone. Okay, that's fair. And I also believe that if Lukey scores, none of us will feel that way. Because I think that Miami would have to play from behind. They wouldn't be able to settle for field goals. And the way we move the ball, even on the second drive, we'd be able to stay on top of them. But I'm with you, PTJ, because we didn't finish the game how we were supposed to. And so that is what it is. But I'm with you. Lions going to pound us. Let's talk to Danny. Danny, my guy. Danny, I don't believe that. I mean, we're 6-point favorites. The problem with the Lions is they do have good pieces, right? But I really do think that this is a makeup game for Curse has to play better. I mean, Curse is the one guy that, oh, my guy's in here. What's up, Cowboys fan talk? Curse is the one guy who needs to play better. He needs to move better. But, I mean, we're 6-point favorites for a reason at home. I don't see them pounding us. And also, we got one thing about the Lions. Lions defense sucks. They also have a quarterback who's a statue. And I like Jared Goff. Love him at Cal. But he's a statue. So, like, if Micah gets going, and Micah's angry. Micah's angry. The one thing that I'm gonna be honest with you about, Danny, is I think that J-Ron Curse needs to come off the field. I would much rather see Y.A. Thomas than J-Ron Curse. Even healthy. I think that could be the missing link to our defense. Y.A. made some really good plays. And I don't, and it's just about, I want to win. So you put Y.A. out there, he erases Sam Laporta. J-Ron right now just can't run. Malik Hooker look good. So that'll be what. Yeah. They may be a top 5 run because I have to look at the numbers. I'll be honest with you. Lions, their corners, the back end, they won't be able to stop Dallas. I'm just being honest with you. They won't. No. You can't put Sam Williams at linebacker. It's hitting Madden, y'all. We can't do that. Cowboy fan talk, my guy. Make sure y'all follow him on Twitter. My homie. Shout out to you, bro. No perfect team is wide open. No defensive MVP, no defensive player of the year, or number 1 team in the league. It's all wide open. I agree. No definitive MVP, my bad. Yeah. And honestly, I think that Micah is going to go crazy in the playoffs. I really, really do. One thing about Mike McCarthy, he's very calculated. First 3 games, everybody, this offense. And then he kind of opened things up, and he showed us like, y'all chill. I can call this. I got it. I got motion in my bag. I got things in my bag. And then now, let's be honest. Right now, everybody in the chat, let me know what seed y'all see us getting. Oh, and we'll get to the coordinators, hidden Meadow. But right now, what seed do y'all see us finishing at? Even if we won out, what I see us staying at the 5th seed. Honestly, I see us staying at the 5th seed. And so, if I'm Mike, even on Saturday, how much does Mike McCarthy show? Y'all tell me. I was thinking this morning, it might be best, win or lose, start pulling guys in the 3rd quarter. Against Washington, I'm not playing a soul. I know what we said about, I want to go into the playoffs hot playing. Man, no. Because we know we're going to have to go on the road regardless. So against Washington, and I'll probably go to the Washington game, I want to see Trey Lance and Cooper Rush. Sorry, Washington sucks. They're a 4th seed. They're a 4-win team. You have absolutely nothing to prove against Jacoby Brissett. If you lose the game, who cares? Who cares? And so, everybody we're gonna lose on the road, fine. If you think we're gonna lose on the road, don't watch the game. I don't think like that. Like, I just don't. You know, like that's just me. I don't think like, well, because I had to play football now I win. I don't subscribe to that. So like, if you think that we're gonna lose, then I won't say unsubscribe to this channel because I still love you. You're allowed to have an opinion, but like Foots, I don't wake up saying, "Oh, we can't win on the road." You can beat these teams on the road. You can. Every team has a warts or these narratives and this, that, and the third. I'm gonna be honest with you. If Tyron Smith plays that game, you probably win that game. Just being real with you. Like it was that bad. And it's like what Tua saying. If it starts getting goofy, hey Sadika, if it starts getting goofy, I'm not risking that getting hurt in 2 games where the seeding isn't gonna change. Like I said today on Twitter, I probably want to see, I want to see Awesome Richards over Tuma. And still have Tuma as backup. But I want to see Awesome over Tuma. That's me. Because I don't think that you move Tyler Smith from guard. And I've done a complete 180 on that because man, it's time to move on from Tyron, this, that, and the third. Man, dog, I hate to tell y'all this. If Tyron wants to take a vacation, do the same thing he did this year. If he gonna play all pro football like that, Tyron Smith was an all pro this year, y'all. He didn't give up a sack. Just so we clear. Tyron Smith did not give up a sack. And I'm with you too. I think that I would definitely want the 2 seed. Is it attainable? Like, do we see Philly losing to the Cardinals? The Giants gonna pack it in the last game. They playing for they're not gonna try to mess with their draft seed. So it's a little bit of my rant. But so that was San Fran's run game. And then with Purdy and somebody we can kind of cross with this one. I would like to see Dan bring more pressure, or 5-man pressure, 6-man pressures. I thought Baltimore did just enough. They didn't blitz a lot. It wasn't they didn't go Wink Martindale on us. It wasn't one of those deals. But they 100%, switched it up. I think Mike McDonald, who was at Michigan, really good DC in Michigan, and now he's with Baltimore. And Mike McDonald will probably be a head coach soon. Just has that about him. They signed Purdy. Look lost. And Purdy looked like he lost confidence. Body language was bad. Facial expression was bad. Just wasn't in it. And so I think that you have to kind of copy and paste that game plan with them. One thing that I think that I'll notice when I watch the film is they didn't really honor the motion. Baltimore didn't overreact to San Fran's motion. And I think that'll be a note that I'll write down when we see San Fran again, because I'm telling you, we're going to see San Francisco again. So Tua thinks that we can beat. Tua thinks that the Cardinals can beat Philly. I like to see it. Kyler Murray going out there, running like a little mouse. I would love to. You know what? That would be hilarious. Their coach from last year beat them. That would be very funny. But I don't bank on anything, and I remember like having to bank on somebody else doing something. Now it's like, what are we gonna do when whatever seed we get? But you know what, too, you're right. They could definitely lose to the Cardinals because right now Philly isn't right. Their energy isn't right. The Cowboys' energy is good. Even CD Lamb saying what he said, which wasn't wrong. But even CD saying, if you're going to keep me involved, keep me involved. CD's not wrong. And I don't think that came off as like, oh, I'm selfish or anything like that. Like, to me, to me, CeeDee Lamb knows. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I agree too. CeeDee Lamb knows how good he is, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I know that AJ Brown is all compared to CeeDee Lamb, and those are the two, but just being real with you, AJ Brown's not better than CeeDee Lamb. Like, that run after the catch, that explosion, like, CD is different. CD at running back, he's different. Come on now. It's just me, man. Oh, anyway, I'm really excited for the playoffs. I kind of just want to talk through like some of these scenarios. We'll talk about the Lions. I'll get to the Lions probably tomorrow. Got a week, so I'll probably get to the Lions tomorrow. But I really want to get to some of these scenarios. I really want to, because at the end of the day, I think it's all about matchups. It's just like the NBA. It's all about matchups. We've seen in the NBA, AC get to the, Western Conference Finals. Not saying that we're AC, but it's all about matchups. When teams know each other, when they're familiar with each other, all these different things, what happens? Teams play better. They play more confident. They come in with a better plan. They take the series farther. Why? So I think the defense does need to play better. I think the defense will play better. I don't know if did Dan Quinn speak today? I know it's the day after Christmas, man. These guys have families too. These guys have lives too. So you gotta respect that. I don't know if Dan Quinn spoke today. I know Jerry Jones spoke today. But I mean, my whole thing is, as long as Dan Quinn just shows some type of different game plan. Like, one thing I did like that Dan Quinn did. I don't want to just be, I don't want to be that guy, right? Where it's just like you just complaining, because I'm not that guy. And one thing that I did like that Dan Quinn did was he did play some zone, and they played it well. I think in the middle of the game, he leaned on it a little bit too much. And what happened was McDaniel found that. He started running that push motion and just having guys just go sit in the middle of the field. They're a fast team. And so you're so worried about motion and Tyree getting the ball or whatever the case may have you that, they ran that, and they just, kind of did like just like push motion, just like stick routes. Boom, just go stick there. Like, why stick? Just go sit. Oh, no Henny, King Keys. This coconut water, man. No drinking, man. Gotta stay hydrated. This is it right here. Coconut water. No Henny, my boy. On a weekday, folks, wow. And I think that they kind of got us with that, and then in the end of the game, kind of got some stops. Foots, despite Tua getting the ball out so fast, it's hard to counter, but I expected more of our guys to win their one-on-ones. Yeah, I mean, I think Michael was dogging their tackles early. That's the trick with zone. Like, with zone, and Tua knows that Tua's a smart guy. Like, that's, again, like I said last week, that is part of the reason why Tua took Hurst's job. Like, 1, 2, 3, ball out. Boom, 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 out. So, like, the chance that Mike had a hit on him, he got it. Like, they do a good job of protecting Tua, because they also know Tua's frail. He can say whatever he wants. Tua's little. He's light. He also can't play off script. So McDaniel has developed a scheme for Tua to get the ball out quick. It's almost like West Coast vibes, but it's West Coast on crack, because you have two of the fastest players in the league in Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and then you got A-Chain. Which, by the way, I'm gonna be fair, the Cowboys did a good job stopping the run. Like, there were things to be like, okay, Quinn, okay. And so now just like, this game, it'll show me some things, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, the Cowboys are going to lose in the playoffs if they lose to Detroit or this and the third. And I think the Cowboys will beat Detroit. So, but yeah, no, to answer your question, I think they could have played better for sure. Everybody else could have won their matchups. I agree. I thought DeMarcus Lawrence played like a man on fire. He's just not going to get the edge like he used to. That's the thing with D-Law. He just doesn't have that bag anymore. But so, hey man, I really do believe that the Cowboys are in good shape. I really do believe the Cowboys are in good shape. I think that you make a few adjustments, you get this win. I'm resting versus Washington. You guys can fight me about it, but I'm resting versus Washington. I don't see any point in trying to win that game versus a 4-win team. They're all over the place. They don't even know who they want to be their quarterback in the future. And so that's just me. So, hey, it's your boy Foots. Let's hit this read real quick, man. And another thing is, Danny, maybe Danny's just in a bad mood. Danny, what's up with you, man? You in a bad mood today? You never acted like this. Maybe just in a bad mood, but y'all know me. If there's a will, there's a way. Hey, this video is brought to you guys by the Real Insurance Lady. Get health insurance in less than 7 minutes. The link will be in the description box. Thank you guys for showing so much love. They are sponsoring this video, the Real Insurance Lady. So everybody will be, the link will be in the description box. Make sure you guys like, share, send this video around. Listen, happy holidays. Don't wait till the New Year's to get your butt in the gym. I went to the gym today, and I'm a little under the weather. Still went to the gym. What's wrong with your foots? I don't know. Drinking coconut water. I'm going to go upstairs, drink some tea, go to bed. After I'm finished watching this film, the All-22. Like, it's so crazy. I'm a loser. I listen to music. I've already watched the game twice. I'm going to watch it one more time just to find any little cut-ups. Put some stuff out on Twitter. I'm going to play my drums besides me tomorrow. And then rinse and repeat and do it all again. But, y'all, we got to stay in this because 5 more weeks, football is over for the Cowboys. After we win the Super Bowl, it's over. What's up? So we going to sit here and complain? 5 more weeks and it's over. That's rough. It's your boy Foots. Peace.